Thinking of this latest upping of the ante?
Was it upping indeed? I'm a bit skeptical because it was completely expected. North Koreans are determined to design, to deploy the nuclear weapons and delivery systems capable of hitting the continental United States. They are absolutely frank about it, and over the last few years they have worked very hard and with a great deal of success over this issue. So it was universally expected that they would have another nuclear test, or maybe 2 or 3, just to make sure that they have new device. Probably it's a hydrogen bomb, thermonuclear device, probably not, we don't know, probably yes, but it might be not the case, we don't know yet. Likely to be the case. And then they will have to make sure that it will work, so they will have a couple of more tests. They will test their missiles, Hwasong 14 or a better version, a couple of times, and it's going to happen no matter what.
So, does the hydrogen bomb, if they indeed do have one, is it a game changer?
No, it's not. The ICBM capable of hitting the United States is a game changer, and they did test it about 2 months ago. Hydrogen bomb is just a more powerful nuclear device. It's a serious change, but not a game changer. ICBM was. At least for many years, Americans used to say that once North Koreans test ICBM, the Americans would react violently, seriously. But so far we have not seen much reaction, and I would expect that Americans will once again let North Koreans to cross this yet another red line. You know, I've been doing North Korea for 35 years, and I've seen, well, maybe half dozen times when the North Korean government crossed yet another red line with complete impunity.
Further sanctions, will they make any difference whatsoever?
Absolutely no difference. But, of course, sanctions will be introduced because this is what the domestic public in the United States and other developed countries want to hear about. Because American politicians, Western politicians, including Australian politicians, they cannot do much about the situation. Actually, they can do nothing about the situation, but they need to explain to their voters that something is being done. This is the major reasons why we are going to see even tougher sanctions and a lot of tough talk. Not because it makes difference internationally, but because it helps a particular politician to be re-elected.
Professor, when it comes down to it, do you think the US would be willing to risk a nuclear attack on American cities in order to defend Seoul?
Good question. It's a question which is asked by many people in South Korea. But we have to keep in mind that it's not a new question, because this is exactly the questions Europeans used to ask back in the 1950s, 1960s, when we saw the confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union. So, well, right now there are some uncertainties in Seoul, and some people in South Korea began to take seriously about developing the South Korean nuclear weapons. I don't think it's going to happen, but this issue is being discussed in Seoul exactly because many people here are afraid that in case of confrontation, the United States would not risk San Francisco in order to save Seoul.